Ooh. Yay, two people. Awesome. Anyway, I'm going to give it about 2 minutes and we'll get this live started. Yay. Ooh. Yay, four people. Looks like this is going to be a pretty good stream. Well then, the four people disappeared. Oh, live streaming. So much fun. What's up, Joel? 1 second. What's up, Joel? Okay. Yes. Awesome. Thank you, Joel. Anyway, we'll get started here in a minute. But you know what, Joel? You need to come on one of my you need to come on to one of my vlogging excursions. I know you've been in the vlogging outfit for a while longer than I have. But anyway, I actually just came back from a vlogging excursion today, which I'll talk a little bit about it once we I'll give it another I'll give it about maybe another 2 more minutes, then then we'll get things started. I'll tell you, I just got back from. It was a pretty strenuous hike. It said that it was an easy to moderate one, but no, it was very hard. I'm a little bit whooped. Mm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'll tell you. I mean, well, no, I've made it a goal of mine to lose a few pounds myself this year. I don't know. When I got medicated, well, I don't know. I'm not going to say that live, but I'll message you about it sometime. But anyway, um, it's progress. Oh, I've taken a weight loss journey myself. Not going to lie. But I'm wondering if anybody else. Well, oh yay, three people. Yeah, I don't know. You, me, and Andy need to probably do something here soon. I mean, I keep up with. I don't know. I keep up with Andy a lot. Um, Also Ben, but I don't know. Ben's been gone on a hiatus. Darn it. Ben has gone on a hiatus for a while. I don't know. Last I talked to him, he said it was probably going to be a couple of years, but I don't know. Mr. Nomad can Ben does some. I don't know. Ben be interesting to see if Ben came back sooner, but I don't know. I'm not him. But anyhow, anyway. Well, looks like we've got two people in the chat or in the live or watching, viewing. Um, which I don't know. I'll probably go ahead and. Well, I mean, I guess you could say we're already starting, but but anyway, actually, four people chimed in. Hello, everyone. Five people. Glad to see everyone's coming in to have a good, interesting chat with yours truly, the Chet, the Dream Poet. But since there's about five people that are in right now, I'll go ahead and I'll tell you all what I did today. I went down the back roads of East Tennessee, Marion County, and I explored the abandoned ghost town or the abandoned coal mining town of Shake Rag, Tennessee, and it looks like it's going to shape out to be a pretty good video. But I will say I was kind of looking forward to seeing one of the coal mines, but I talked to somebody down there, and they said that the mines are like at the top of the hill. But then I got off the phone with Andy, and Andy said that actually they're I want to say like one of them's close-ish. So I'm trying to keep the light the light from. But anyway, Shake Rag, it was established in the 1880s, and it dried up and was shut down in 1905. And from what I understand from one of the locals, there were about 10,000 people that called that place home. But oh no, it sits on almost 500 acres, and it's on the back of a state forest. But it was really, really epic to see the buildings or the foundations of the buildings as they were. I did see some photos of the coal mines though, but Andy was telling me, I got off the phone with him, that the coal mines up near Shake Rag, they're not your typical mines. They're kind of small, and you have to like hunch back, bend over to really see anything. And they're not exactly the safest. I mean, it's not like North River Gorge or New River Gorge. Second, or anyway, New River Gorge, New River, gosh, North Chickamauga Creek Gorge State Park. There we go. I mean, they had one, and that one you could actually walk in, but I wouldn't recommend, because I mean, it's just like an old coal mine. I mean, I guess if you wanted to go back, maybe 30, 40 feet, but I wouldn't go much back or much further than there. But how's it going? Doing pretty good, Robert. And anyway, there's an interest. I think I did a video in Athens not long ago. Well, when I say not long ago, this was like maybe 4 years ago. 4 years ago, I did a video on the Battle of Athens, which I'm surprised that not more people talk about it. But the Battle of Athens, that's you had a bunch of guys that were coming back home from World War II. They saw the corruption that was going on, and anyway, they had a brawl with the politicians, and they basically overthrew the current government that was there at the time. But that's what I like about Athens, and also with the gosh, the story of it's a pretty well known ghost story. I guess it's more folklore, but gosh, it happened, or it's on. Anyway, gosh, what was I saying? I had a brain fart. But oh yeah, the pretty well known ghost story. Between it was a British soldier or British colonist soldier and a Cherokee chieftain's daughter. I think it was a chieftain's daughter. But I like the statues that they have there in Athens that kind of tells a pretty well known story in East Tennessee culture or folklore. Oh wait, Joel, are you talking about Shake Rag? Oh, oh, okay. I mean, yeah. Oh wait, Joel, I didn't know that. That's pretty interesting. Like, I don't know. It's a fascinating story that, like I said, I mean, just hearing that story and how it played out. I don't know. I find it so interesting. It just goes to show that yes, you can, or it goes to show that if things I mean, there is a constitutional thing. I believe it's in. Yes, it's in the Constitution that you can overthrow your government. Of course, it's like I have to. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's like I gotta. I don't know. YouTube's algorithm is just so. I doubt that. I guess just saying. There we go. But anyway, he must have had an interesting story, Joel. Like, I mean, like, how did I mean, I'll probably read it in the comments, but how like I'm kind of curious to see what he did or how things played out during that skirmish, or not really so much a skirmish. I mean, it was pretty bad. But anyway, I need to get up and do another video in Athens here soon. No, not long or gosh, I keep saying not long ago, but then I also remember, this was like probably 3 4 years, no, 3 years ago. I went out to I call her the wickedest woman in Appalachia, and it was Grace V. Sims, and that is a very interesting. I mean, yes, it's a very big. I mean, it is a story of. I mean, there was a lot of trauma, a lot of past trauma within that family, and the property itself was very haunted. In fact, the grave of Grace V. Sims, they're like her grave. I mean, it's off a back road and it's like deep inside the woods. And I mean, it's basically it's a logging road, is what it is. I mean, there's nothing there other than dirt, and really the only way you're getting in there is with a four wheeler. But interesting guy. Years later, but he's gone now too. So yeah, that sucks, Joel. I mean, that sucks. I don't know. I had a thought. Anyway, I've had a long day. I mean, like, and I'll say too, like the Google Maps on like to find Shake Rag. Yes, it'll come up, but no, it's. I mean, it will not take. Anyway, it it was mind boggling to try to find some of this stuff. Um, but yeah, Joel, that sucks. Yeah, I don't know. It's like my brain. I don't know. It's like maybe it's just because I don't know. Maybe I just have so much going on in my mind, or maybe I'm just beat. Anyway, but I don't know. I know I got my birthday road trip coming up in March. I've got one friend of mine I know for a fact is going, and I'm looking forward to seeing Cave City, Kentucky. Like the Kentucky area, um, gosh, and saying it in the previous live stream that I did in the live stream before that, that I mean, Kentucky is just one of those states that is just so underrated. Like, there's a lot to do there, or at least when it comes to, like ecotourism or haunted locations or abandoned locations, that good stuff. But ugh, it is a mind mind-boggling thing. Uh, but anyway, looks like I got about 5 people in the chat. Thank you guys so much. But I was thinking I need to. I thought about this the other day, but I need to probably do some more stuff with my haunt season now that I've kind of rearranged and restructured the channel. I'd like to like I'd actually like to make good hardcore. Well, not really so much hardcore stuff. Maybe stuff that looks better, like using more B-roll, old school footage. I'm not really much. I mean, I've seen other content creators use AI, like Into the Fog with Peter Laws. He uses a lot of AI, but he uses it what I'd like to think how AI is supposed to be used. But I guess that's neither here nor there. But I don't know. Like it's what like it's the more I start hearing like all these stories and stuff, it's just like all of this takes place, like all this has happened either around Cleveland, outside of Chattanooga, or in the Athens area, or I don't know. In April, I'm probably going to start like jotting down the stories for Ghosts and Mysteries of Bradley County Homecoming, and I think I've got about 18 stories that I know of, but I need to probably start asking around, maybe bump it up to 22 stories in total. And I think it'll probably be just as successful as Ghost and Mysteries of Bradley County was. That's an interesting book, actually. But I want to say I am almost at 100 copies sold across the board for my books since I started writing. I think maybe I'm like four, no, no, six books away. You know that okay, I saw that video that you did that was there in that you gosh, I saw the video you did there, Joel, when anyway, I mean it's the books are going well. I mean, I guess really my lack is my business like I need to have a better understanding of marketing or pushing myself more out there more. And I think probably I could do a little bit more book selling wise. But anyway, you know, Joel, that's what I wonder. I'll get to you in a second, Jay. Like this is going in my book or my fifth book, but just because I guess legal reasons, you know how that stuff works. I cannot say the company name out loud, but it is a mechanic shop that is here in Cleveland. That's not far from IHOP, and that building is straight up haunted. Like I have never seen like for me, I had like when I'm doing paranormal research or I'm looking into it, I have to pull things apart. There's no way, you know, that's the sign of a good paranormal investigator is you pull things apart, you try to explain things, you know, what exactly is going on and if it can be debunked. I mean, you got something. But that mechanic shop, okay, in that mechanic shop, they had a bunch of tires, their tire room, and I watched as these two big tires, granted, I don't know if I don't really know how to properly describe it. They're on these metal racks, metal scaffolds, and they're stuck in there. They don't move. But I watched these two tires. It was like they pulled themselves out and they fell onto the floor. And it was like I said, I'd never seen that before. And I tried my dangest to recreate it, and I couldn't. So I mean, I like I said, there might be something going on at you know what? Joel, I might add that into, like I said, I mean, there's probably something like that did not happen or something. Let me reiterate something that happened before IHOP was ever there, which I think it was. I want to say maybe it was, gosh, it was a, I think it was a cow pasture. But anyway, that's the thing that I learned about Cleveland is like once people start talking, you start learning a lot. But anyway, but you know, that's what I like too, Jay, is I like sticking with the historical stuff because like I said, I mean, once you start like digging and you start finding out all this stuff, it's just baffling. Like not long or this I found this out a few months ago, but there was actually a UFO sighting in Bradley County. But that was I think that was probably back in the 70s or I think it was probably the 70s, but anyway, I need to talk with the witness that saw it. And I mean, there were a couple, but that's an interesting story that and I'll tell you one that I mean, there is one thing that I don't know how to find anything on it, but it was through my friend Melissa that I found this out. But apparently, there was an exorcism that happened in Cleveland, and it took 20 years to do it. And at one point, the Vatican actually had to send a couple of exorcists to do an exorcist on this woman, and I can't find anything on it. But how? I mean, my friend Melissa is a very reliable person. I mean, she she was one of the very first paranormal and like a state recognized paranormal investigative group, the very first one in Cleveland, or not Cleveland, in the state of Tennessee. But anyway, that I just don't know how I'd go about finding it. Maybe I'd talk to the Catholic Church that's here in Cleveland, but I doubt that. I mean, that'd probably be something that's confidential, like much like like doctors stuff or doctors information, medical information or stuff that is supposed to stay confidential. I mean, that's probably what I'd be met with if I asked about it. But anyway, but yeah, Jay, that's what like I said, it's if I could just find, I don't know how I'd go about finding a source or start digging into that. But I don't know, Joel. I'll like I said, there's got to be a story there. Maybe if maybe I could talk to, because I imagine that if I mean you probably weren't the only one to experience something like that. Like it must have happened. It's probably happened multiple times. Um, but anyway, there has to be a reason for what's going on. But anyway, I could, like I said, I think that'd be interesting. Did you ever do anything? I think I know the story you're talking about, Joel. Um, I've heard that story, but I've never done anything on it. But I know I want to say I vaguely know the story on that psychic, but that would make a good video for haunt season. Um, with yeah, but going back to but I'll tell you, I mean, this one was talked about a little bit in that legends and lore thing that Bradley County does every year. There was well, if you're driving down Paul Huff and Ocoee Street, no, North Lee. If you're driving down Paul Huff and North Lee, you'll see that sign that talks about Chief Jack Walker, where his house once stood, where his grave was. In the early 1900s, he did have a grave monument like in that spot or not far from there. It got destroyed. It was either destroyed or lost, but with that, they lost the grave of Chief Jack Walker. So I'm almost wondering if I talk to people like that, or like some of the businesses that are like around that area, I wonder if they've had any experiences. That would be something to hear. At wait, Jay with wait 1 second. Anyway, but I don't know, that's something that I look forward to doing. I don't know. I'll tell you. I mean, I had a great idea to do this beforehand, but it's just like things in downtown Cleveland can get a little bit rough at night. But I swear, I mean, I think it'd be so cool to do an actual ghost tour in downtown Cleveland. I mean, I've thought about it for the longest time. Oh, spell track. Okay, all right. Thank you, Jay. But I think it would have just been cool to do something like that. But I mean, it's just I did some preliminary stuff like related to that over the like I think in the summer of 2022 that I tried it. 2022, but 2022, 2023 that I wanted to do something like that, but there was a lot of stuff that happened there that I guess right now it wouldn't necessarily be safe. I'll leave it at that. But anyhow, you know what? Actually, I have the guy's number for Stampers, and I like for haunt season, like the previous one. I actually talked to him about doing an investigation in Stampers since nothing's there right now. But I just got ended up just working on so many things that I missed it. But I might do that for next year for this year's haunt season. Maybe that's what I'll do because I mean, yeah, Joel, I'll let you know. I mean, it's I mean, because like I said, I mean, the story with Stampers is there was a cleaning crew, and granted, there were people that saw it as well, but they claim that they saw the spirit of a woman in on the second floor of Stampers. They would see her and she would disappear in the walls, and they also saw the spirit of a little girl. In similar case, but what I like to think, like I don't know that I need to figure out what the story is behind that, but I almost kind of wonder if it relates to the fact that second floor where the second floor of Stampers before it opened upstairs, it was a doctor's office, and back in Cleveland during the 20s and the 30s, there weren't really a whole lot of hospitals. And well, anyway, so I imagine something may have happened up there. I mean, I don't know though. That's just me. Never saw anything. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Joel, something is on the second floor of Stampers. I talked about it in my book a little bit, but you know what? Joel, since you're on, I need to go back out to Memphis. I don't know if you ever saw the video I did on Elvis at his grave. I saw that you went out to Sun Records. There we go. My brain is finally working. Sun Records, which, by the way, I will say that was a cool museum to, especially thinking like all those names that went into Sun Records. And then on the tour, you hear about like how I think it was like a surf shop or something like that, or a sub shop, or it was all these different things. And anyway, I think I heard that song that you made. That you know what? I never got back with your friend about the audio stuff. That I don't know, because like I said, I wanted to improve the audio on my videos. But it's it's like with I don't know. Sometimes technology is smarter than I am. I'll leave it at that. Let me see. Jay, I used to do HVAC work at Pathway. There's definitely some weird energy on the bottom floor. We call it. You know what? That is interesting, Jay. I might hit you up on that, because that is kind of weird that there has to be something going on there. So I had to do some work at the L&N station, and so that's a spooky place. Sounds. You know what? I think I heard. Let me look that up. Let me look up the L&N station, Knoxville. Okay, L&N station, Knoxville. Huh. You know, I went to school at UT, and no, I remember seeing that building. Okay, it was that building. I mean, I've driven by it before, or at least on I-75. But okay, now you know what? I want to look into some stuff on the L&N station there in Knoxville. It almost kind of makes me think about. about the Chattanooga Choo Choo, because I guess maybe it's because they were both, railway stations. But I'll tell you, like the people that I think they've done some damage to the Chattanooga Choo Choo. I mean, yeah, sure they've changed it. Some of it's good, but then some of it, it's like, why did you do that? But the dungeon, that is pretty creepy. I don't know. That's something I said I might get back in touch with you on that. But I don't know. Right now, I am looking forward to. I guess how it should pan out is like probably about this entirety of next month. I will be doing. Well, going to be going up to like maybe about 3 4 day. Well, going up March 4th, coming back March 7th. Yeah, 3 4 days. Just having fun. But I think from what I can gather, I can do some pretty good stuff. But don't want to get me started on how much. That's what I said. Andy's the same way too. And I mean, I third that. Anyway, yes, I third that. I think what they did to the Chattanooga Choo Choo is horrendous. I mean, some of it looks nice, some of it looks okay, but no. I mean, it's like once you like tear out like, all like the old school rail cars, that you could go in, that's kind of what did it for me. Because, I don't think a lot of people realize, but Elvis was inside that terminal many, many moons ago. I don't know if they had pictures of it, but Elvis was at the Chattanooga Choo Choo. I don't think people realize that. But I don't know. I've got like I said, I want to eventually make like, I don't know. I don't think I can cram it in, but maybe I could make like one big video. Maybe make this the haunt season extravaganza, or maybe something that follows in the summer or later this in the following months. But do like the top 10 most haunted locations in Chattanooga, and there are a lot. I mean, Chattanooga is a very haunted place. I don't think people have realized that. And they do have a ghost tour industry that's well, I wouldn't say on par, but pretty close to St. Augustine. St. Augustine's ghost tours are very, very, very good, but it's very saturated, kind of like Well, then you've also got New Orleans and Savannah, but they've got some good tour companies. And he even has to calm me down. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I've had, that's the interesting thing about Andy. It's like he has this interesting way of calming people down. Maybe it's like, I don't know. Like, I mean, he's listened to my ranting before, but I don't know. That man is a walking encyclopedia. That's a given fact. But but anyway, it is. But I don't know. Like sometimes I wonder if maybe it had to deal with The Walking Dead opening their restaurant there. Then it got, it started getting all hoity-toity. It was just like, no, please just no. And that's the sad thing. Like I've been keeping up with some of the stuff that Andy's been doing with his videos around Chattanooga, and it's like they're tearing down some of these amazing buildings. Why? Then they're talking about tearing down the Ingles. I think it's Ingles Stadium, which UTC got that property for nothing, and they never upheld their part of the deal, or at least that's what I've heard. It's hearsay, but I don't really know. But I don't know. Maybe I could go inside Ingles State. Well, no, I'm not gonna be. Well, anyway, I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, I mean, it does, and it too, it makes me think about some of the stuff that happens around here in here in Cleveland and Bradley County, because I want to say they had their jail, their old jail, and then they tore it down in like 2021, 2022. And I thought that was, no, you could have turned that into a museum. You could have turned it into something freaking cool, but no, they didn't. So, I don't know. It, that's it too. But I don't know. Probably one of the things that gets that kind of I don't know. It still kind of gets on my nerves a little bit is why we don't have like an actual either monument or statue that visitors can see of Paul Huff. Because Paul Huff, he was a Medal of Honor recipient. I think he was the first paratrooper to receive the Medal of Honor. Um, Period. It's a very esteemed honor within the U.S. military. And then you look at Calvin. I think it's either Charles Coolidge or Calvin. I think it's Charles Coolidge, but he has a park named after him. Desmond Doss, Collegedale. They have a big, beautiful park dedicated to him. And Paul Huff, it's like the only thing he's got is a little stone monument beside that ambulance building off Paul Huff that it's just almost impossible to get out to. But anyway, I already turned down and trying to get in there. Still going down. Feel something soon. We should all make video. Yeah, I mean that's what I told Andy. Because the more it gets out there, the more it's going to be an issue. Which, I guess I can't really say, just on here, I don't do anything like that. Well, y'all know what I'm saying. Anyway, y'all know what I'm saying. But yeah, yeah, and that's another thing too, Jay. Anyway, I don't know. It's just like that's another thing too that Cleveland seems to get all the time is either it's like that's the new thing. The newest thing that Cleveland gets is a Mexican restaurant. I've noticed that. Like we either get a bank, a Mexican restaurant, or it's like why can't we have like something like cool, like awesome, something that would put Cleveland on the map, for generations to come. Like maybe an amusement park or anyway, they're don't get me started on that. But well, yeah, I mean, there's that too. I mean, Paul Huff, he got his name, on the park, the Parkway, the main thoroughfare in Cleveland. But the sad thing that scares me a bit is like even people that are about 10, 20 years older than I am, if they say that they say they don't know who Paul Huff is, and that's what's scary to me. But yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, Paul Huff he doesn't get enough recognition that, yeah, like exactly, like a Red Lobster. I will tell you, like, you know what? If Bradley County ever gets a Red Lobster, I will make a big video on it just to say it finally happened. We got ourselves a Red Lobster. But that's another thing too that Cleveland just can't seem to get is a Red Lobster. And I imagine people that are watching my videos from around the room, around the world, my live stream. Yes, Bradley County has been wanting a Red Lobster for the longest time, but it has not happened. Why? I don't know. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, at least we're getting a Raising Cane's. I don't like. I wonder what happened to the O'Charlies here in Bradley County because I mean it's like somebody higher up walked in one day and just said y'all are fired, we're closing it. But I don't know if it happened that way or not. But I mean, Raising Cane's is good though. They had one up in Knoxville. That was really good. I mean, I would say you know what? Maybe I should do this. Maybe this would make a good video since a lot of you guys, like I said, a lot of you guys follow me, because we all share the same space that is Bradley County. Maybe I should do like well, I mean, I don't know if the algorithm would hate me for it, but maybe just maybe I could do like like compare the best Mexican restaurants from around Bradley County, but I don't know how to go about doing that. Like, do like a knockdown, drag out competition, between El Cazadores and Las Margaritas or El Santos or El Gente. I mean, I got the idea from. I used to watch Meat Canyon, Papa Meat, a little bit. I don't really watch him anymore, but they did do like a video like where they did all like the chain restaurants. So I'm thinking, what if I do it Bradley County style? Like to find out to answer that question, which is the best Mexican restaurant in all of Bradley County? I think that personally, I'm not gonna lie. I like Monterey. For me, it's either got to be Monterey or El Cazador. Maybe more El Cazador because it has a really cool vibe about the restaurant. They're expensive though, but their food is good. But that would make an interesting video. I might do that. But anyway, that's the original. Yeah, yeah. But I don't know. Los Mas, it's like I don't know. I've tried eating their quesadillas before, and there's just something about it that I just don't like. I can't get over. But Monterey's is good too. You know what? I need to try Spoonies. I keep saying, but I've never eaten at Spoonies before, and I've heard that they have the best Philly cheesesteak sandwiches in the entirety of Bradley County. Oh yeah. You know what? Wait, does Bailey's Diving Mouse, do they serve food or is he strictly drinks? Like, so I don't know. I know Bailey a long time ago. He said that he wanted to go with me on one of my videos, but it's like I don't know. I guess I feel like I'm a bad friend. It's just like I don't know. I get bogged down, and anyway, I guess that's neither here nor there. But anyway, one second, Jay. Let me play. Yeah, yeah. But anyway, there's something that I'll tell you what might be an interesting video, but it might have to wait on a weekday in the summer. And why I say that is, as a lot of you guys know, one of the Ocoee River or Ocoee, one of the Ocoee region's big things is the Ocoee River. Rafting. Well, I wouldn't tube the Ocoee River. No, that'd be just straight up stupid. But but all right, B. Well, all right, Joel. Catch you later. But anyway, it would be kind of cool to get in there, like when the dam's not run or when the water's not running, and maybe see what interesting treasures and whatnot are at the bottom of the Ocoee River. My friend Nathan and John, they found a bunch of stuff doing that, but that was a long time ago. That might make a good video for another day. But anyway. But yeah, my brain has been, like I said, Jay. I don't know if you caught it before. I went out to the ghost town of Shake Rag today, and I filmed a video. And for a ghost town or an abandoned coal mining town, you would have never thought that it would have ever been there, but it's there. And it's just like you find out all this interesting stuff that is in this area that never gets talked about. It's just like it it aggravates me. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But anyway, anyway. I don't know. Probably keep this live stream going for a little while. But I don't I don't know. I guess I'm looking forward to seeing how this year plays out. I mean, because realistically, I mean, it's like when January. Well, I don't know. I know I stepped away for about a month, and I don't know. I guess really I wasn't in the right headspace at the time because I didn't know if yeah if I should. Well, I mean, of course, taking my foot off the gas, trying to do something that kind of has a little more of a financial backbone. Um, which I mean, I do stuff. I mean, I've got multiple, or I mean, there's small streams of income, but I mean, they're still, yeah, I mean, but what I really need is, just a good old 9 to 5. I'll tell you, I went to, I guess maybe that's like an interesting thing. It's like I have been to like I feel I've been filing quite a few applications here in Bradley County, and it's just like I either never hear back from them or I go to the interview and then I never hear anything. I thought the interview went well, but I guess not. Anyway, but that's just me. But that's the story of my life, as they say. Yee. But going to haunted stuff, I always heard that Eminem Mars, or that's at least the rumors that I've always heard, is that Eminem Mars has got a few ghosts running around in the factory. But that's just from what stories that I've heard. I mean, I don't know if it's true or not. Well, I will say I had a very interesting experience in while working because I mean I used to do I used to work on their cleaning crew or their because they have a lot of independent contractors there at the factory, the plant, and I worked for one of those companies. And one day I was using the bathroom down in the basement of the plant, and like no joke, like I plain as day I watched as it felt like somebody was smacking the toilet paper thing. I mean, you could hear it too. It was freaky. But anyway, I got out of there, and luckily, I mean, my lunch break was there, and yeah, I mean that's why I say I mean I've heard stuff here and there, but I don't know. I mean, I know I had that really weird experience, but I don't even know if I don't know. I know I wasn't paying. Like I said, they're I guess that's neither here nor there. I mean, that's one of the things that I'd like to do is and I've got a few friends that have worked there before, or who no longer work there. Maybe I can see if maybe there are stories that which I mean that's kind of one of the things that I feel like I'm going to run into with this next book is I've thought about it, keeping names of businesses out of a book. I mean, I know I had in my first book, I talked a little bit about a gas station that's off of it's Blue Springs Road, um, that was on the site of an old Confederate field hospital, and it's got a lot of stories tied behind it. But I found out that one through my friend Melissa. But I don't know. There's just so much that I want to do. I'll tell you one thing that I'd like to do. This will probably be when it warms up, but spring. Okay, so it was Spring Place then. Um, but yeah, Spring Place Road. There's a lot of. Sorry, I know I'm off kilter. But that's the thing. I mean, there's a lot of tragedy that has happened on Spring Place. Back in 2012, you had, I think it was either the 2012 tornado or the 2011 tornado, because there were those 2 years that they hit back to back. But you had that, those buildings, then also, I mean, that was one of the roads, at least from what I understand, was where the Trail of Tears happened. And also, you had that stuff with Civil War soldiers and stuff. I mean, maybe it's just prone to it. I mean, I know that, I don't know, there's a, anyway, where did I, anyway, oh yeah, oh yeah, over the summer, or this summer, that, or when it gets much warmer than it is now, but I think it's Burgess Falls. It's more on the Cumberland Plateau. I did a video on it, but it's one of the biggest waterfalls in the state of Tennessee, and it's huge. But the thing is, at the state park that it's in, you can only walk along the observation point, but you can take a kayak, and there's a put in, and actually you can go to the base of the falls and swim in it. That might be I want to say that there's also maybe some other abandoned things that are at the base of the falls. I think it was like a pump house or something. I need to do my research on it, but that one would be an interesting thing to do. But I don't know. And I like the fact that I kind of cut back a little bit on my videos, because like I said, I want to focus on making something really good. And but maybe it's just getting back into the mindset. The Great Warrior Path cross. Okay. All right. So that's what anyway, what you said, Jay. Duh. But yes. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of stuff in this area. That's the thing too. Like, I'm a little bit surprised why there's not like a whole lot more that's out in Charleston. I mean, granted, I know it's not Gettysburg level, of a historical town, but it's still. Oh, what's up, J.W. Miller? Yay, 37323. Yeah, 37312. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, it's like, I found this out the other day that apparently there is. I heard this, but I don't know. I need to look into it some more. But somewhere out in Charleston, there is a building that is still left over from the days of the Cherokee Nation. When I say that, I'm talking about like where they had to essentially sign their rights away, or their land rights. That apparently there is a building that is still standing where they had to sign that paperwork. But it's on private property, and that's all I know. But it would be interesting to see if maybe they would let me, because, like I said, I mean, it's history like that I find so, that shouldn't really be lost. But and I guess that's why I say too, maybe Charleston. I don't know. I just think it'd be cool if like Charleston could really bump up, the historical tourism side of things, just because there is just so much there. But I don't know. I say the same thing about Cleveland, because here in Cleveland, it was actually in a letter from Abraham Lincoln to one of his officers. He said that capturing Cleveland, Tennessee, is just as important as capturing Richmond. And if you think about it, Cleveland is just on or at least from the railroads, Cleveland was right on the outside of Chattanooga. It's like, if you could capture Cleveland, you could control everything that's going in and out. Not have to worry about dealing with Chattanooga. But I don't know. Like I said, that's another thing that I wish that could really be bumped up because I don't know. Cleveland's got some railroad history behind it, and I know that you know the railway station that they have here there in town. They turned it into a Sethra station, which I don't know. I thought it would would have been cool if maybe they could have done something more there to make it look better. I guess you could say, but I don't know. Hindsight's 2020, but I don't know. But yeah. By the way, did anyone watch my recent video of the snake handling churches of East Tennessee? Um, I finished it up and it's done very well. Like it's actually I think just before I hit live, it awesome. Thank you, JW Miller, coming from Ducktown. Yeah, okay. That's another thing with Ducktown, is that's where all the copper mines were. That's when Julius Rott was because that's where all the copper was coming from. And I want to say that it was either the Union or the Confederacy that captured it. I can't, but anyway, it's like they had to like hide the copper or something, because I know that Julius Rott, he had to seek asylum in Cincinnati, Ohio during the duration of the war before he came back to Cleveland. But anyway, I mean, I like I said, I liked how the snake handling video turned out, because I'm not gonna lie, I was worried about it. I mean, that's been kind of the thing that I've worried about with my channel, because I mean, for I don't know how long you guys have been following, could have been like, but I will say the best years that I had on my channel was between 2021 and 2024. And last year, that's when I kind of started noticing that things were not really looking too good. So that's why I'm kind of like maybe trying to. That's why I'm like, you know what? I want to understand the algorithm and what's going on with it. But I don't know. I probably know I'll never have 100,000 subscribers, or I don't know. I say that, who knows? 2 years down the road from now, I could hit 100,000 subscribers. But uh, it's one of those things that I don't know. Very. But then again, I mean, my channel. I mean, took me 6 years to get 10,000 subscribers. But I like how it turned out. Yeah, I mean, it's still a work in progress. But I don't know. It's still a work in progress. But yeah, like I said, I liked how my snake handling video turned out too. But I don't know. We'll see what happens here later on in the future. Okay, Katie Creek. I need to go back and do another video on that, because Katy Creek, I did a video on the ghost town back in 2021, November of 2021. And that's back when I was kind of using what a lot of people would say is the William Shatner voice. But I had to really get over that. I mean, that's another thing too. I'm kind of glad that I never thought that that'd be something I'd ever get over, or is worrying about what I say on camera. But it's whatever. But yeah, I need to go back to Caney Creek. There's a lot of cool, interesting history there. A lot of interesting buildings. And I want to say that when I did that video, I may have gotten I think I may have gotten the dam or the powerhouse mixed up, because there's like three dams and a powerhouse, and a trolley that used to run back and forth in that town. But there's another ghost town that I've read about which maybe that's something I'll make a little bit more on, and it's stuff that I've read online, but it's just like people don't realize like how many ghost towns are here in Tennessee. Kind of makes me wish that, if, well, I mean, it's happened before, but when TVA, oh yes, I love McFarland. I did a video on that as well. But I will tell you, McFarland is out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, and you have to have like a truck, like either a truck or something with four-wheel drive. But I mean, it goes deep in the mountains of the Cherokee National Forest. But yes, I did one on McFarland that I probably need to make a follow up on. Well, not a follow up, but just because my channel's, when people see my old videos, they're like, "Oh, who, it's like he talks weird or this or that," and it's like that was something that I made like 5 years ago. So I need to go back to those areas. Um, I want to say that there's a ghost town up in not really the Knoxville area, but I'll have to look up the name of it. But that's another one that I want to check out. But I don't know. Like I said, people don't realize that how many ghost towns are here, in this state or in Kentucky or West Virginia. Yeah, I mean that was one of the things that I had my issue with when I went up to McFarland. I mean, it was kind of, well, actually that's the issue that I had with when I went after the gosh the old Dutch settlement that which I need to get back with Jay. I think you were the one that mentioned going back out there, but I do need to make another video on it just because the old Dutch settlement. It's a weird, it's got weird history written all over it. But or you know what? Maybe I need to go up back out to Rugby. I mean, for one of my haunt season videos, I went to. I spent the night in the Newberry house, which was the Dutch settlement. It's right, but I want to say it's like right between. It's like not far from the Conasauga, or at least I might have to read my book again. It's like between the Conasauga and the Cherokee National Forest. But I mean, that's from what my mind is a little bit hazy. But okay, yeah, Jay, I'll let you know. That was like I said, there is I don't know, it's an interesting piece of lost history. But you know what? Speaking of ghost towns, maybe this would be a good idea. I mean, I don't know what would it entail, but or I mean, I don't know if that maybe going like maybe getting a campsite up at Elkmont, during the summer, maybe checking out the buildings at night. I know people have done it before and it's pretty darn scary or creepy, more or less. But that might make a good video. But I don't know. I guess I'm just brainstorming right now and thinking of things in the air. Speaking of just because we were talking about the snake handling churches not long ago. Sorry, I know it's kind of random, but I've had this since I was in high school. But anyway, it's pretty darn neat. But yeah, I'll probably hop off here in a few minutes. But yeah, it's yeah. Like I said, I that was like, and the thing is, but going back to Shake Rag, there was an incline that went wait 1 second. So wait, what do you Let me see. Oh, wait. What do you mean, JW? Oh, state. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. That's going on. Maybe I need to. I don't know. Like I said, my brain is fried right now. So anyway, guys, I mean, I'll probably get off here in about 5 minutes if that works with y'all. But anyway, it's been a today has been an interesting one. Paying bills, running errands, going to a ghost town, doing a live stream. And I thought about this before too, about maybe trying to maybe arranging some of these live streams to I don't know, maybe hear like people's ghost stories or people like maybe doing like a topic. I don't know, maybe that would be a good idea. I don't quite know. Oh, thank you, JW. I mean, it's that like I said, that's what a lot of people like because Cleveland or in Bradley County don't get covered. And it's like it's overlooked more often than not, and it's just like, no, don't do that. No, keep watching. No, or keep it's like you keep anyway. But yeah. Uh, but yeah, it's been a long day. Mm. Ooh, my back. Well, thank you, JW. Yeah, I mean, I think you may have. Oh no, I know. Got my contact info that you could probably find, or you could probably send it to my Gmail. But or if we're friends on Facebook, just send it my way too. But that's the thing. There's a lot here that just gets overlooked. It's just surprising. But I'll tell you what I would like to see. But I mean, it's going to be like a year or two. But when they finally finish the Cherokee Hotel, that's going to be something to see. I mean, I wanted to see it, right as they closed it down, to work on it. And I tried getting in touch with the guy, but he never got in touch with me, or he never got back to me. But I know, and I'll tell you too. I kind of wonder what all is left of the Princess. Well, the Princess Theater, it's right behind the Cherokee Hotel. I mean, you can obviously tell. I mean, it still has the same shape as it always has, like in old photos. Like, I kind of wonder if maybe, I mean, probably there's nothing left. It's probably been gutted, but I'm a little bit curious to see if there's like anything left over. Because I mean, the Princess Theater was, let me see, you had the Princess Theater, then there was another one near Bradley Central. It wasn't the two. It wasn't the one that became. It was not the one that became the Habitat for Humanity store, but there was like one right beside Bradley County or Bradley Central High. Like it was classic. Anyway, it's okay. If you're driving down, I think it's gosh, I think it's South Ocoee. But if like you're driving by Johnston Park, it's like if you stand Johnston Park, you'll see the Cherokee Hotel, or at least what they're doing to it, and there will be a building to the right of that, and that was the Princess Theater. I believe it was the Princess Theater. But I mean, granted that theater, I mean, it shut down a long time ago. Yes, the Summit. The Summit is what I'm talking about, or Summit Cherokee Hotel. I mean, I know it's been called a few things throughout the years, but yeah, I mean that's the sad thing too. It's like that. That's what It's like you have to really like look to find some. You have to look to find it. But anyway, it can be very can get very annoying. I guess I'll leave it at that. But anyway, guys, I think I'm going to call it a night. I'm beat. Thank you all for tuning in. Feels great. Gives me ideas to, makes me, gives me ideas to really show you guys some really good content going forward. But anyway, guys, I'm calling it a night. And, but yeah, I'm at what? All right. Thank you, JW. Well, how do you, gosh, oh, duh. It's the big button on the far corner. Anyway, sorry. You all can tell how I'm a little bit beat. But anyway, peace out, you guys.